So here we are today celebrating 30 years of Disney's Hollywood Studios with a brand new nighttime show and some new details about some new additions coming to this park very soon. So let's dive into all of that up next. Hi there Waltoneers, I'm Jack and this is DSNY Newscast, back on location in Walt Disney World until around mid-June. But anyways, now let's get to the news for today. As the first thing that we've got to talk about is the brand new logo that's been revealed for Disney's Hollywood Studios. As part of the Disney Parks live stream for the 30th anniversary cavalcade, Disney also showcased this brand new logo in this colourful animation here. And to be honest, the animated version of the logo looks to be fairly good. But what I feel does not work from a graphic design perspective is the use of the characters within the logo itself, as the purpose of any one of these logos for the Disney parks is to act as a clear brand identifier that will work in any colour scheme and be versatile enough to work with various different IPs within a marketing campaign. But the use of these characters with such vastly different animation styles creates an incongruent aesthetic, and so hopefully Disney leans more towards this cleaner version of the logo that was also shown at the end of the presentation. But what should also be mentioned here is the very literal downplaying of the studio aspect of Disney's Hollywood Studios, as in many ways the logo reads at first glance as Disney's Hollywood, perhaps hinting at a future replacement of the word studios to park instead, to better complement the new mission statement of living your cinematic adventure. Although at the same time Disney Parks blog released this piece of concept art for the archway into the animation courtyard, showing the new logo will be replacing the current version that we can see here. However, insiders have indicated that the eventual logo replacement used within the park might not have the characters within it as the finished version, so they might use the simpler version of the logo on the archway and then use temporary character replacements. But either way, the logo looks modern and in keeping with the new direction of Hollywood Studios. But now let's get to the new nighttime show, Wonderful World of Animation, that debuted as part of the 30th anniversary celebrations. And as promised, it really did deliver on representing every Disney and Pixar animated feature of the past 90 years, which was very tastefully compiled together to create a short yet incredibly effective pre-show for Star Wars: A Galactic Spectacular that is well worth the wait, and you'll probably have to watch it multiple times to catch all the little animated moments. And personally, I really did enjoy the show, and it's for the main reason that this could have been such a standard montage of iconic Disney moments, but instead Disney Parks live entertainment used the projection mapping to really transform the exterior of the Chinese theatre and have really mastered how to use what is quite a difficult surface and layout of the buildings to create unique wraparound vignettes that cleverly use the architecture to their advantage for new animated environments, similar to the scenes that can be found within Happily Ever After, such as the Moana segment or the use of the Hunchback of Notre Dame. And so I feel that it's pretty easy to see that this show is vastly superior to Disney Movie Magic that debuted back in 2017. But in a way, that show is more limited by the live action media, as it's harder to create seamless thematic transitions like we see in Wonderful World of Animation, as Tron, Pirates of the Caribbean and Guardians of the Galaxy have very different cinematic styles. However, the best parts of this show, in my opinion, is the new Mickey Mouse Gala effect at the beginning.
The Chinese Theatre for Mickey's premiere. This gala is sure to be the talk of the town, as every star in Hollywood has gathered to see Mickey's latest sensational picture. Just hear those people cheer. And look, there he is, the star himself, Mickey Mouse. And there's his sweetheart, Minnie Mouse. Are the two of them just catch the eye? Just do tell Pluto. Let's take a look inside the theatre.
And also the end sequence for the show, which seemingly acts as a teaser for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, which is located within the Chinese theatre.
Gee, thanks everybody! It sure has been a whole lot of fun, but trust me, it's only the beginning.
And speaking of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, we've also received this new look at the attraction signage that is going to be adorning the outside of the building, which will be attached to this centerpiece here, and is meant to elicit the neon movie premiere signage of the 1920s and 30s for big movie premieres of that era. But that's not all, because as part of a small press preview event on Tuesday, Disney also announced that they're going to be bringing the first new addition to Toy Story Land since it debuted in June of 2018. As the Roundup Rodeo Barbecue restaurant was revealed with this piece of concept art that helps illustrate the immersive theming and storytelling that will be found within the restaurant and throughout the rest of Toy Story Land. As the story behind this restaurant is that Andy has taped together 3 cardboard boxes to create a new rodeo arena using some of his favourite toys, games and most importantly playsets. Now, we don't have a date for when this restaurant is going to be completed by and ready to open, but what we do know is where it's supposedly going to be located, as this new table service restaurant is going to be located just off to the right as you're walking in to Toy Story Land behind Sheriff Woody, as this was always the supposed expansion zone for the 10-acre land, as we can see here in the earlier Blue Sky concept art that was released back in 2015, as it originally showed a Woody's Roundup western section, but later it was then revised back to the version of the land that we have now. So it'll be interesting to see just how much of the original vision for this area will be brought back, as I would imagine that it will take some inspiration from the 2015 version, but without implementing the whole entire section, as that would require some major entrance work for Toy Story Land, and so instead, given that this land is going to act as a sort of exit path area for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge in the first couple of months of its opening, I would expect that the new restaurant addition will require some construction work, but instead it will be back behind the current Woody statue, more along the lines that you can see here, so that it will not disrupt the guest flow in and out of Toy Story Land. However, there are still many questions yet to be answered about this restaurant, such as whether this will be a character dining experience, which personally I think would be a fantastic idea, and another thing that has been heavily mentioned within the Disney Parks blog article is the rodeo arena aspect of the restaurant. So personally, I would love to see a mechanical bullseye, which in story terms could be Andy's bucking bronco playset themed to bullseye, but obviously that's just my idea for what I think would be great to see within this restaurant. But either way you look at it, this is going to be offering some much needed extra dining capacity within Disney's Hollywood Studios, and also another section which will be indoors within Toy Story Land. And that actually brings us perfectly into the next topic for today, as we're going to talk all about the future of Disney's Hollywood Studios and potential expansion, as there are 2 big areas for potential expansions at Disney's Hollywood Studios, with the first being this section here, that would require expanding out behind the back of the Indiana Jones Stunt Show Spectacular and into the general parking lot area. However, this is definitely the less favoured option for potential development, as there is plenty of space to redevelop within the current park boundaries, and secondly, it's less favoured as it would require a massive relocation of very critical infrastructure for that park. But whilst we're talking about this, the other thing to consider here is that this potential expansion zone wouldn't be considered for at least another decade, if not longer. And the reason for that is if and when Disney do decide to move ahead with another expansion at Hollywood Studios, then the more attractive prospect is actually the area at the back of the animation courtyard instead, as this space used to be the home of the Florida arm of Walt Disney Animation Studios, creating movies like Lilo and Stitch, Mulan and Brother Bear. But now it has some backstage operations and also a cast member parking structure, all of which could easily be relocated off-site, similar to how Disneyland Resort are expanding at the back of Toontown to make way for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, and so instead of expanding in the traditional sense, they'll be looking to repurpose the prime real estate right in the centre of the park. However, we don't know what exactly would be going within this section, if and when Disney do decide to move forward, but the popular thinking has been something Pixar related, with my personal hope being for a Monsters Inc. Incredibles section, although it should be noted that the only IP that has been confirmed by insiders to be getting more attention within Disney's Hollywood Studios is Indiana Jones, as with the 5th installment arriving in 2021, Disney supposedly have big plans to use this new movie as a way to breathe new life into the franchise. So it seems that Indiana Jones is not going to be going anywhere anytime soon. But now, it's over to you, Walterners. I would like to know, if you could reimagine the animation courtyard or the Echo Lake area into anything at all at Disney's Hollywood Studios, what would it be and why? And obviously all of this is dependent on whether Disney do move ahead with an expansion to that park in the next decade. And of course, don't forget to put the timestamp for where the hidden Mickey appeared somewhere within this video, along with your suggestion or your comment, to be in with a chance to win one of these official DSNY Newscast enamel pins. And congratulations to this Walt here for winning this suggestion from a previous video where we're talking all about the fate of the rumoured Mary Poppins ride at Epcot. And so that's it for today. So go ahead and subscribe down below if you're new to this channel. Hit that notification icon so that you always receive an update whenever a new video comes out on a Tuesday and a Thursday. And if you enjoyed today's video from Disney Springs, Disney's Hollywood Studios and Walt Disney World in general, give this video a massive thumbs up as it really does help this channel out. And I've been Jack, you've been you, and I'll see you real soon.